Before the flannel, the multi-platinum albums, and the massive stadium tours, rock music in the late 1980s was suffering from a massive hangover. It was all hairspray, spandex, and surface-level party anthems. But up in the rainy Pacific Northwest, a storm was brewing. And leading the charge was a guy with a 4-octave vocal range that could shatter glass and rattle your soul. Welcome to Character Profile. Today we're diving into the heavy history, the massive cultural impact, and the obscure trivia behind the ultimate architect of grunge, Chris Cornell. Long before he was a rock god, Christopher John Boyle was just a kid from Seattle dealing with severe anxiety and a heavy depression that kept him isolated. He found his escape in two things: a collection of Beatles records left in the basement, and working grueling hours in the food industry. Yeah, you heard that right. Before he was throwing down massive riffs, Chris was a sous chef and worked at a seafood wholesaler gutting fish to pay the bills. But in 1984, everything changed. Alongside guitarist Kim and bassist Hero, Chris formed Soundgarden. Fun fact, Chris was originally the band's drummer and lead singer at the same time. It wasn't until he realized his stage presence was too magnetic to be buried behind a drum kit that he stepped up front.
Now, relax and watch.
Now, everyone attributes the massive grunge explosion to Nirvana's Nevermind of 1991. Which is great, but if we look at the actual history, Soundgarden broke the barrier first. In 1989, they became the first ever Seattle grunge band to sign to a major record label, A&M Records. They proved to a skeptical music industry that this raw, heavy sound actually had a massive mainstream audience. By 1994, they hit the absolute stratosphere with Super Unknown. Tracks like Black Hole Sun and Spoon Man dominated MTV.
It's not MTZ.
Chris wasn't just a singer anymore, he was a global icon. But Chris's career wasn't a one-trick pony. When Soundgarden disbanded in the late 90s, most people thought his peak was behind them. Instead, he teamed up with the instrumental powerhouses of Rage Against the Machine to form Audioslave in 2001. He became the first American rock artist in history to play an open-air concert in Cuba. He wrote You Know My Name, James Bond debut, and Casino Royale. The man simply could not stop creating. Alright, time for some deep-cut trivia that trips up even the most hardcore music fans. First up, the tribute that started a legacy. In 1990, Chris's roommate and close friend, Andrew Wood, tragically passed away. To cope with the grief, Chris wrote a few songs and formed a tribute band called Temple of the Dog. He invited a local guest singer to help him on a track called Hunger Strike. That guest singer? A totally unknown guy named Eddie Vedder. Chris Cornell literally helped introduce the world to the future frontman of Pearl Jam.
Aerosmith and Pearl Jam.
Who else?
Trivia fact number 2, the tuning. Soundgarden's signature heavy, sludge-like sound didn't come from just playing louder. Chris and Kim heavily utilized bizarre, unorthodox guitar tuning. For the hit song Mind Riot, every single string of the guitar was tuned to the exact same note, E. When Chris tragically passed in 2017, the music world lost more than just a great singer. We lost a writer who proved that heavy metal could be deeply poetic, vulnerable, and intensely honest. He didn't ride the wave of alternative rock, but he built the ocean. So who is your favorite Chris Cornell project? Soundgarden, Audioslave, or Temple of the Dog? Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and the subscribe button, and let us know who we should profile next on Character Profile. I'll see you guys in the next one.